Have you seen House of the Dragon, by the way, the new premiere?
No, I've been meaning to.
Oh, you haven't? It's so good. It's so good. I'm the biggest fan, personally, of how they made the most recent Matt Smith meme a reality. And I can't go into any more detail on that because I don't want us to get age restricted. So.
Oh. Well, maybe I'll watch it now.
I watched it with my mom, and I kid you not, literally, as that scene came on, we both went, how's that? Because she knows the meme, so we were both doing the song. It was so weird and so amazing. I don't even...
That's funny. That is funny.
So, House of
Troy,
the Dragon
that's
already...
disturbing.
Best show ever. There we go. That's it. Can't top episode 1. Can't top it. It's all... Let's roll the intro so we can
roll the intro, please, for God's sake. Hello and welcome back to Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast, a show where two YouTubers get together and talk about the best show in all of time and space, Doctor Who. I'm your host, Crispy Pro, and joining me is the incredible, the one, the only, Troy Red Arch alive. How are you, sir?
For the record, I didn't pay him to say that. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I feel like I've been bullying you lately. I feel like I needed to show you a bit of niceness, a Crispy Pro niceness that, you know,
it's true.
happens
You
occasionally.
have turned the tables on me recently. You have been quite mean.
Yes,
you have been quite mean.
I have turned tables.
I've been crying at the end of every recording. It's very sad. I'm good though, man. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. I was just in Sydney for a little holiday.
That's what's so funny. We've just got things to catch up on ourselves. I mean, people are used to the structure of our podcast by now. We just chat for a bit and then talk about news. We're kind of... It's a bit sporadic and all over the place. This fella over here was telling me he wants to try and refine it for the next season. But I don't know. I like our sporadic nature.
Well, no, we're not going to lose the sporadic nature.
Oh yeah. I'm watching you.
We'll just streamline it.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Troy, please.
You can't streamline this.
No.
You can't streamline our perfection.
You can't. We're already a podcast with a plan. You're right.
You dabble with podcasts. We are the genuine article, though. Okay, you can't streamline the genuine article. You can't.
Can we make that our bio?
Yes. That's where all the listeners now
like
go,
that.
actually, we'd really appreciate if you just got to the point after 2 minutes, thanks. Or just we've been putting up with this for 22 episodes now. Enough is enough. We're sick of hearing from you. That'll do. Just talk about Doctor Who. No, I'd like to think our listeners like us.
Troy.
More. Hello. Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, is that a new number?
It might be.
Are you older?
Yeah, it was my birthday last week. We filmed the day before my birthday. It was crazy.
How was it?
Crazy. It was really good, thank you, man. It was good. We went to a Doctor Who escape room.
Did you
my mum
escape?
was saying this to me. Yes, we did. My mum was saying to me, she's like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" Because I don't tend to do too much because a lot of my friends, as you know, are not local, and I've always had a birthday in the summer holidays, so it's never been when people have been around. So I never tend to do tons. I just settle for a pizza and a film, and that does me. But I was thinking about doing something different, and I couldn't really decide what. And just sporadically on the day, I said to my mum, "There's a Doctor Who escape room in Manchester. Do you want to go?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So we just went. It was a really off the cuff decision, but it was so much fun. It's at a place called Escape Hunt in Manchester. If anyone is local to the area in the UK and knows of it, and the whole thing is it's all about trying to stop a Cyberman invasion. And there's literally
That's
get a
so cool.
Cyberman head and put it on a little display thing, and it talks to you, and you're solving puzzles and all sorts of stuff. And there's a Jodie Sonic. It's so fun. And the thing I love, there's one thing that stood out to me that I remember the most about it, was at one point you need to scan a machine, and you actually have to swipe up, and it reminded me of how Jodie uses the Sonic, because she doesn't point, she does her arm down like that when she scans it, and I was like, that's a Jodie pose. I was like, nice, it's very nice. But that was really good fun.
Cool.
I really enjoyed it. We only got out with 3 or 4 minutes to spare, so we go in and crack it again. I think was it 54 minutes? Did they give us an actual time? It's not on the photos.
They usually give you an hour, but yeah, damn. Well done.
Yeah,
it's
a good day. It's been a crazy week for both of us. We've both been on holiday as well. You know, we said this last week, but you went to lovely, lovely Sydney, and I went to as I said last
Sydney.
Week, big old exotic Newcastle. You know,
oh
wow. Oh, good grief! It was a good time though, because I met Pale Waves. I put the picture in the edit because I edited it after the podcast. I edited it after holiday. Sorry, I edited it on the Friday night going into Saturday. And I'm not going to lie to you folks, I was very tired, and I was falling asleep during the edit, but I was very glad because we didn't need to do much with the episode. Especially the second half, I did barely nothing. So it didn't matter that I was like kind of almost dozing off. It just sounded good. And, you know, that's what I said about taking a step back, you know? About doing less editing.
I'm proud of you.
It's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. So that was a nice time. Took a few days with a friend, just kind of chilled, de-stressed. Met one of my favourite bands of all time. And what was very funny about it was going into Newcastle took me 6 hours. Should have taken me 3.5. But all the trains were cancelled in the morning. I had to get a different route. My mum literally had to come and get me and take me to a different station on a different line to get me there. It was a nightmare. But it was timed so well that when I got to Newcastle, they were doing a gig in a music store called HMV in the UK. As I got to the HMV to queue, they came out of the store, and the lead singer Heather just looked at me and was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Hi," and then just walked past and was like, "Ah!"
That's so cool.
Everyone in the queue just saw me, and like I was like, 6 hours on a train, just said hi to Heather. Yeah, that's great. Yep. That makes it all worthwhile.
That's awesome.
It was a good time. It was a very, very, very
that's
good
a cool
time.
experience. You have experiences like that. You and bloody Catherine Tate. My goodness, you're a lucky
Honestly,
man. You're a lucky man.
I'm a lucky man. But what about you? You didn't tell us much about your plans because I kind of was too busy fantasizing about pale waves, as I often do. So what were you getting up to in Sydney, man? You know, what was going on? What was the gist?
We were just seeing friends and family, and we ate so much good food. And we went to this German restaurant one night, and they have like this live band. It's very interactive, and there was a yodeling competition. And I got up there.
Oh my goodness.
And I won it, bro. I won the yodeling competition.
I'll show you what
they got me this. No, you can't.
Oh, okay. Well, I want some live yodeling.
But am I the best yodeler in all of Australia? I don't know. But they got me. They gave me this little deer head thing that you put on the side of your drink, and you put a little shot in there, and you flip it up, and then a shot goes in the drink. It's pretty cool.
Very cool. But I'm sorry though, I can't agree that you are the best yodeler in Australia if we haven't heard you yodel.
Okay.
Give the people what they want.
I can do it. I'll give the people what. Everyone better like this video if they're watching on YouTube. Everyone better give us 5 stars on Apple or whatever. Spotify.
We got a big YouTube announcement coming in a second, so get ready, folks.
Yeah, we do. All right. Here's a little yodel for you all.
Go.
Did you like that?
Ooh, there was some like reverb, some tones to that. I liked it. Ooh.
Yeah, did you like that one?
Ooh,
Did you like that one?
Made me feel something, man. That was good. That was good. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, plenty more where that came from. Best in Australia right here.
So we've had some 2 very good weeks, and then to top mine off, when I got back home, I stayed up till 4 a.m. on Sunday morning going into Monday. No, Saturday going into Sunday, building a PC. So I've just got a new PC under my desk. So I'm not currently recording on it. But by the time we do next week's episode, I will be on the PC. I've been literally spending the last couple of days uploading everything onto like a Dropbox thing so I can download it. Because I only have a 32 gigabyte memory stick and I have 1 terabyte of files. And I'm like, this is going to take forever.
Oh, dear.
So I literally signed up for a free trial of Dropbox for like 3 terabytes. You get like a month of it. So I was like, I'll upload everything, download everything, cancel it.
Very
done.
Smart choice.
Big brain, huge brain. So I'm very excited to start testing that out later. I'm gonna go to the cinema and go and watch Nope. I'm excited for that. And then when I come home, I'm going to test the PC, get some gaming, do some gaming. Video games.
Gamer Boy things.
If I can pull myself off Saints Row, because I can't stop playing it.
Yeah, you've been playing that lots. Whenever I log on to here, I see, Troy's playing Saints Row.
It's so good. The reviews really don't like it, but I absolutely love it. Like, it's so good. I'm having so much fun with it. It's just good old arcadey fun.
You know what else has bad reviews? Dreamland, and that's what we're talking about today.
We're going to be talking about that shortly. We'll try and get through the news quicker so we can spend more time on it, because I think, that's something we need to do a little bit. So maybe we can streamline slightly. Okay, I'll give you maybe a little bit of credit, maybe a tiny bit, just a little. You being the best yodeler in Australia is making me take you a bit more seriously. I'll give you credit there.
I know, it's a prestigious title.
So before we go through the news and the poll, we have a very special announcement to make, which you kind of know is coming, but also don't know specifics. We were discussing the potential of regular live episodes, ladies and gentlemen, and the suggestion that we said that the first episode we record every month we'll do live, unless there's a reason that we can't, depending on like the time we're going to do it. So next Thursday, or this Thursday by the time you guys are listening to this, because we're recording on a Wednesday, so Thursday the 1st of September at 12 p.m. UK time, that's BST, 9 p.m. your time, which is AEST.
Australian Eastern Standard.
Yep. And then
AEST,
you can
you're on it.
convert time zones from there. We're going to be live on YouTube recording episode 24, is it? Or 23? I'm losing track.
I think 23. It's 24.
Episode 23.
Oh, 23.
And it's going to be almost entirely talking about what you guys say. We're going to be handing the mic over to you guys because it's going to be, Crispy,
It's Doctor Who Hot Takes.
We're going to be talking about your hot takes for Doctor Who. Crispy's going to do a tweet, he's going to get all of the responses, and we're going to go through them, and also live chat. We're going to try and do the biggest kind of chat interactive episode because it's going to be live, so we'll have, answers submitted before, which Spotify Q&A, YouTube post, all that stuff, YouTube comments. Get commenting your hot takes. Literally now is the best time, but we'll also have time in the stream for live chat. And because it's a live episode, I don't edit it very much, so if it goes on longer, because there's more hot takes, it goes on longer, we just see how it goes. We just see how it goes, but it's exciting. We're very, very excited for that.
Very excited.
It's going to be a good time.
So get keen, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And one of my first streams in the new PC, that's going to be, hopefully everything transfers over okay and it's easy to set up. Otherwise I'll have to just set up all of OBS from the beginning, and I'm not looking forward to that prospect. So gosh. Hopefully. I've found a document that explains how to do it, so as long as I do it well, we'll be fine, but we'll see. So before we get into our main topic, let's go over the polls very quickly and then the news. So you already know next week is hot takes. You can answer in the Spotify Q&A, YouTube comments. Our poll this week, so occasionally, like I've said, when I can't really think of something from listening to the episode to ask on a poll, not going to lie, partially based on the fact that I was falling asleep towards the end of the edit, but, allow it. I had been on holiday. I thought, what's a good poll to ask? And actually, I pulled... It was semi from our discussion, actually. I asked who your favourite single series companion is. Because we're talking about that with Martha, that the argument is that other single series companions are the better ones. So we had 5 options. I know I argued Nardole kind of was and kind of wasn't because he was more of a supporting character, but I have included him. The options are Martha Jones, Donna Noble, Bill Potts, Nardole, and Dan Lewis. So we got votes from the audio platform and from the YouTube platform. Let's go Spotify first. So out of 28 votes, the winner is Donna Noble with 50% of the votes. Followed by Bill Potts with 21%, Nardole with 18%, Martha Jones with 7%, and Dan with 4%. So Nardole got nearly double the votes that Martha did, which I was not expecting. That is...
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, actually. What the heck?
And interestingly enough, on YouTube, the exact same trend, just with different percentages.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah,
that's
so
ridiculous.
Out of 115 votes, which, by the way, thank you, that's a lot of votes.
Thanks, 55%
guys. 55% for Donna Noble, 17% for Bill Potts, 13% for Nardole, 10% for Martha Jones, and actually the exact same again, 4% for Dan Lewis. Scousers not getting enough justice here, I've got to be honest with you.
No.
Yeah, honestly, it's just disgraceful. But interesting, so there is a general trend that people think Donna's the best, then Bill, then Nardole, then Martha, then Dan. I can't believe Nardole got that many votes.
Would never have picked it, mate. That's ridiculous.
Not complaining. I like Nardole. I just didn't expect it. Did not expect that. Yeah, but it is what it is, as they say. It is what it is. Very, very interesting.
It is what it is.
Thank you all for voting. So we'll do the poll again on Spotify and YouTube. You'll see the poll on YouTube shortly after the episode goes live, a couple hours, and on Spotify it'll be there automatically. This week, though, we are going to be asking you. I didn't clear this with you, but I know you'll be fine. I like how I just keep coming up with ideas and just don't even run them by you because my memory's so bad.
That's fine.
What we're going to do is, because obviously we like to plan our episodes out ahead of time, we want to take more audience ideas. So on YouTube... Actually, I might have put it up already. Actually, I'll put it up after this recording, so it'll already be out so people can go and find it. I'm going to post asking you guys for episode ideas. It's not necessarily that we're running out of them necessarily, it's just that we want to see more of what you guys want us to talk about. So if you've got a particular episode theme, topic, question to answer, anything like that, let us know, and it might be a future episode. That could be a nice bit of chat interactivity, viewer interactivity, listener interactivity. Can't get my words out.
I like
Never
it.
can. I spent a whole lesson yesterday while I was tutoring chemistry trying to swat a fly in my room, so my attention span is just honestly, it kept landing on my arm and my microphone. So when I was trying to explain the charge of an atom, I was like, oh yeah, so there's electrons and then there's I just constantly swatting. I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to get this fly. It was really bugging me. Honestly, it's like a live action version of Man vs. Bee. Never mind, that was live action. Whatever.
There was live action.
Did you watch Man vs. Bee? That was a good show.
I had to stop at that one episode when his face goes in the poop. So I was like, oh, can't do it.
Really? Wow. It's
Yeah.
a very, very, very poopy place to drop out. Sorry, that's not funny.
Yeah.
So, should we try and speed through the news this time? Give the bulletins and then go into Doctor Who Dreamland?
Yeah, let's bop, and
Let's
then
do it.
we'll go to Dreamland.
So, first off, Doctor Who Season 2 is the newest season to be added to the collection series, so when they re-release classic era series of Doctor Who on Blu-ray, sometimes with a special collector's edition, sometimes a general Blu-ray release, or I think it might be both, I don't know. But the next one is Season 2. So William Hartnell, the first Doctor, gets this first season, or one of his, like, the first William Hartnell season. My English is so good, honestly, it's just perfect. The first William Hartnell season to join the collection, basically, is season 2.
Nice.
So it's very good if you're into the classic stuff, which we will be at some point. You know, we're talking about an episode of Watching Classic here. We keep thinking we got it penned, and then we keep going, maybe not. Well, you said you wanted to make it a big spectacle, so...
It's going to be a big event when it happens, Don't worry. I've been hyping it up for about 10 years on my channel now, so it's going to be big.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be good. So what should we talk about next? We've got a few things to discuss. Should we discuss the TV Zone article? Do you want to take that? was that in regards to apparently in the centenary? Apparently in the centenary, Jodie Whittaker and companions will be wearing old Doctor's outfits. It's a very strange thing to just kind of throw out there. Very strange rumor. It's been rumored that classic Doctors will make a cameo or whatever, but this kind of very much caught me off guard. And I don't know, there might be some people just might be making this up because we saw Dan in the iconic like David Tennant orange spacesuit. I don't know if that's where it stems from, and like it's just been blown out of proportion. But if that's the case, I mean, heck, get me Mandip in the Fifth Doctor's outfit. I'm a happy boy. That's sick. That's awesome. So interesting choice. I like it.
I don't know. Hell with a celery stick right there,
Yeah, I think the couple of things that were quoted was the Fourth Doctor's scarf would appear in the Fifth Doctor's celery stick, and like a few other bits, like classic outfits. I don't know if it's that Jodie's wearing them or if they're just going to appear in some capacity. Like it could be in unit. They've got old versions of the outfits as like Easter eggs, maybe. It could just be that. But the other thing that article said, what was it that there were going to be other companions that we don't know about yet? Like other classic companions could be returning, or like
I did not read that. I did not read that, but maybe
somewhere as part of the article, clothing and companions. So there's discussions at the minute as to what might be happening in the centenary special, which isn't there always. I mean, I saw someone. I think it was TV Zone just tweeted like yesterday saying, "Oh, the Doctor Who centenary special title and poster will be revealed this weekend." Say unofficial sources, and then someone who works at the BBC, Gerard Groves, you might have seen on Twitter. He's like a big involved with like Doctor Who community. That she applied and went, "This is garbage. This is absolute garbage." So I don't know if he's saying that like to throw us off the scent or if it genuinely is. I would like to trust that it's genuine garbage, because I mean, if we're posting about unofficial sources, I mean, we said that we hope we'll have some news by the end of the month, but it's more likely looking like it's going to be September at this point. So we'll just see.
I honestly would have put money on the end of August, but that's what I was thinking. More likely for September. I'm releasing a video tonight, so it'll be out by the time this video comes out on when I think the trailer is going to be around, which is pretty fun.
Exciting. Yeah. Exciting.
So get keen.
I'll make sure to watch it and like it and leave a comment so you can pin it and heart it.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, I will. You better hashtag Crispy for show on, or else you're not getting a pin, mate. You're not getting a pin.
What if I don't hashtag it? Will you pin it anyway?
No, I'll delete it, mate.
Wow.
I'll get rid of it.
That's a war crime. I can't believe you commit a war crime on your YouTube comments. Oh, I don't know. But speaking of classic companions, an extra thing was David Tennant was at a convention. I don't know what the convention was called, which is ironic considering he pulled out of Emerald City earlier this month. But he's just been at a convention the last week or two and did a Q&A, obviously about Doctor Who and all sorts of other stuff. And he was quoted at one point saying that himself and Catherine Tate, people haven't yet quite guessed how they fit into the story. And that he's also glad to be just a tiny cog in Russell's plans, but also said they have filmed with far more people in secret than we know about in public. There are lots of other people they filmed with in secret that we do not know about behind closed doors. So,
it's a little bit exciting, isn't it?
Wildest guess, who do we think?
I mean, we've been saying it since day one, Matt Smith. And Karen Gillan. Those two have openly expressed interest in coming back to the show. They could very much do it on the down low. I don't know if timelines work with like Guardians 3 filming and everything Matt Smith does.
Guardians is done. Guardians is wrapped.
Well, Karen did say, I am filming a little something
Karen
secret.
did say she was doing something that was a little different.
Come on, give us that, guys. Give us that. That's what I want. If not, I don't care. Give me classic Doctors. Give me classic companions. Yes. I don't even care at this point.
Everything. Well, if you want classic Doctors, new monsters, you should listen to the Big Finish box set, not sponsored.
Nice.
That was good, that. Big Finish, sponsor us,
That was
please.
really good.
We could do with some money. Thanks. I certainly could. I need a second monitor. Good grief. I know about Marvel filming. I know what they're up to with Marvel filming. Come on, I'm the Marvel expert, even though I was not a big fan of She-Hulk's premiere. I seem to be about the only person on the planet who wasn't.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I smell a bonus episode.
I don't know, it just felt like they kind of rushed through the Hulk stuff and just kind of felt a bit breakneck. I wasn't the biggest fan, but I think it'll get better. I'm just waiting for Tim
Wow.
Roth. I'm waiting for Tim Roth to show up. That's what's getting me excited. And also Daredevil, obviously. But I've watched the first season of Daredevil now. It's cinema. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the title of the episode, we're trying to nail down the episode because Crispy suggested making a more clickbaity style title, something that kind of lures people in. So he's trying to trick the audience. You know what? I've never been clickbaity. I don't like being brought into clickbait land. I don't like that.
It's not. There's a difference between clickbait and smart clickbait. We're not technically lying in the title. We're just making it more intriguing.
I'm being held against my will. Everyone, please help me.
Yeah.
But Doctor Who Dreamland was a 2009 animated episode of Doctor Who. So it was kind of released in the middle of David Tennant's specials. I don't remember when exactly. There isn't a date.
Apparently, it was November.
Oh yeah, November 21st, 2009. So that's post Waters of Mars, I believe. Waters of Mars air date.
When did Waters of Time? What a weird thing.
Yeah, Waters of Mars aired on the 15th of November 2009, so this started airing the week after. Interesting. The episodes aired on 21st November through to the 26th, so one a day, and I think it was like the BBC One red button.
Yeah. Can you explain what the red button is? Because we don't have that in Australia.
Oh, did you not have that? They don't really do it anymore, but it used to be a thing where, you press the red button and it would take you to like a hub almost for the BBC. And if there was like a live episode, like a mini episode or something, it would show it on a loop. You could like bring it up or like look at news, weather, all that stuff. But there was a section for Doctor Who. And it was where you used to see some of the mini episodes, like when, for example, before Bells of St. John, that little mini episode of the 11th Doctor on the swing, and he talks to Clara as a little girl.
Oh, was that on the red button?
That was a red button. There were quite a few of those. But the Dreamland was one of those, so you press the red button, it would take you there and you could watch the episode, and it would just loop it. So you probably jump in halfway through, and then wait for it to loop and watch it from the start, kind of thing.
Oh, so you wouldn't actually be able to manually start the thing, you'd go onto it. It'd be like
I think sometimes
broadcast.
you could, but sometimes you couldn't. I think it varied.
Oh, wow.
Because I think it was just a continuous,
cool.
like a live stream, almost like a continuous stream, and you just like tune into it, I guess, like an early version of that. But they did it as 6 episodes, roughly totaling a 45-minute runtime, and then they later cut it down into a 45-minute episode to show as like reruns on BBC One or CBBC or whatever it might be. So, have we got like a general... Here we go. So, according to IMDb, here's the general gist. While visiting a diner in Nevada in 1958, the Doctor finds an alien artifact and ends up on a mission to save the Rivesh Mantalax from the danger of the Viperox and the US military.
Yeah.
I like how they say the Rivesh Mantalax, despite that being the name of one of the alien species, so even the definition of it is not very good. But so we have just watched this episode, not together, although we pretty much should have done for the times that we watched it.
Yeah, we should have.
We watched it before, like you watched it about an hour before I did, and I've watched it just before going on to this call because I was teaching.
Yeah.
So we're just going to talk about it for a little bit because we don't believe many people have heard of this. We mentioned it last week, obviously. We have got some comments we'll read out from you guys later on. There was a link in the last episode on YouTube and Spotify to go and watch it on the UK version if you wanted to. I'll leave the link again in the description this time if you want to go and watch it. But let's just sum it up with a score out of 10 to begin with, because that will set our precedent for the rest of the episode. So, Crispy, out of 10, how would you rate Doctor Who Dreamland?
Oh, mate. I might be a bit harsh. Oh, a 4? Maybe?
That's higher than I thought you were going to go.
Oh, really? What are you going to give it, Troy?
I thought you were going to go 2 or 3, because I was hovering around the 3 territory, but maybe...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3 now. I don't think it's 4. I think there are better TV episodes than Doctor Who Dreamland that I would give a 4 to.
Okay, yeah, no, alright, I'll join you. I'm going to go 3.5.
3.5 is a good thing, because... God, I don't even know where to begin with this. So, the fun fact, for those of you who don't know, the main cast, we have Doctor Who, we have David Tennant as the 10th Doctor.
we have Doctor Who. That's the main cast.
I'm going back to bed, man. I'm going back to bed.
Honestly.
Saints Row has destroyed my brain and my sleep schedule. I clearly can't focus. And we have David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, one of his last appearances as him. My brain is just not working today. But Georgia Moffat, now Georgia Tennant, is one of the companions, Cassie.
I had no idea until after the episode that was the case. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, I saw in the title of like Georgia Moffat, and I was like, Georgia Moffat? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, hang on. So, did you watch it as a 45-minute thing or 6 episodes?
This is interesting because you watched it individually. I watched the whole thing.
So you got the 45-minute cut. I did look for the 45-minute cut and I couldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because someone
no.
commented on YouTube saying that in the UK you can watch it as 45 minutes, and I could not find it. I tried looking, couldn't find it. So I had to do the 6
Well, no,
episodes.
that kind of works because then we can talk about when it ended and stuff.
Well,
So
the weirdest thing is the intro. It's like a shortened version of the Series 4 intro. Like, the TARDIS starts at the very end of the red bit and, like, flips into the end of the blue bit and, like, flips into the red vortex within the first, like, 2 seconds. And the theme is compacted and everything. It's so odd. It's so weird.
I don't even know if it was like that for me, though.
You might have got a full intro, to be fair, because it was just
Maybe
the
I
once.
did.
You might have got the full intro. But yeah, so the first episode is about 12 minutes, and then the rest are hovering around the 6 or 7 category. And I think the biggest issue with this episode, or episodes, is the pacing.
With all of them. Every single one.
It's breakneck pacing.
Oh my gosh.
It's genuinely like they wanted to do a classic Who length story, but wrapped it into a 45-minute plot.
My
So, it's worse than Eaters of Light. No, Eaters of Light didn't feel like it had, like, classic Who organization. It was just by a classic Who writer. That was the only link there, I believe.
Gosh, no.
Well, I mean, to quote you sent me a message on Discord. You said, just finished Dreamland, sheesh.
Sheesh.
That was your summation.
I have a bunch of notes. I wrote a bunch of notes throughout my
Do you want to
reading.
take the reins? Because I didn't take notes. I was too busy trying to process what the hell was going on.
Okay, you ready? I'm just going to speed through these. These are just my...
Should we sum up the plot first, actually? Should we sum up the plot, actually? Just
Oh, yeah, let's sum up the plot, because we gave the synopsis, but let's just give it overall. Spoilers, who cares?
It's a test of my memory, because I'll do it since I've watched it, like, slightly more recently. So, Dr. lands in Nevada in 1958. We see the Roswell crash first, because it's all about Roswell, the spaceship that crashed in Roswell, the big kind of 50s mystery of, did aliens land in Area 51, blah, 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 blah. So we see the spaceship crash, jumps forward 8 years, 12 years, whatever it is. The Doctor lands in 1958, walks into this diner where Cassie and Jimmy, is that his name? Yes, the other companion.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Both of them are just sat there in the diner, just looking dead inside, as the animation in this episode often does. He's spouting some stuff, David Tennant, which I've got to say, I don't know if it's in your notes, David Tennant was on David Tennant form. Like, you know.
Yeah, David Tennant is usually on David Tennant form.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's on form. He doesn't care that the animation's bad or anything like that. He's on it. He's great. So he sees this alien artifact and he's like, ooh, this looks different. Ooh, Alonzi, Sonic it, blah, 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 blah. Do you like my Tennis Doctor description? I'm really, really proud of that. I refined it. Some weird Men in Black wannabes show up and try and take it. They run off. They basically get wrapped up into an Alien 51 style, conspiracy where these giant monsters called the Viperox. Because I had to write it down because I kept forgetting. I mean, he called them a Viperox battle drone to begin with, and I kept thinking of Star Wars. And to be honest, they have to be Star Wars riffed off because they look just like the Geonosians from Attack of the Clones.
They do. I was wondering what they looked like.
And the whole underground cave section we'll get to reminded me very much of the Clone Wars episodes with like the worms that would possess the clones. Although I think that came after. So I was going to say Dreamland stole it, but I don't think it did. I think the Clone Wars episode came after that. So maybe the Star Wars Clone Wars, maybe Dave Filoni was watching Doctor Who Dreamland. I highly doubt it. But they're like these big cockroachy monsters that we don't know what they want, blah, 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 blah. They go into Area 51 and they find another typical little green man. Literally just the little green man that everyone draws that looks just like Crypto from Destroy All Humans, which is also my brain because the remake for that's about to come out, second game. Very excited. She looks the exact same, but that was the whole idea to base off that because they have that kind of little green man with the big head and the big eyes. That's your typical 50s alien. So we have these the Roswell alien and these weird Viperox things. The Viperox are working with the US military originally, and we don't know why to begin with. The Viperox are like kind of holding the US, like, you do your bit, we'll do ours. And there's an alien being captured, this other species. And it basically, it's all explained. The Roswell aliens were at war with the Viperox. The Roswell aliens pretty much got wiped out, and it's a love story that one of them was an ambassador to go off and try and make peace with other people to get help or something. Crashed in Roswell, was shot down by pirates. And then her husband goes off to find her, also gets shot down, gets locked up. So they're trying to reunite. But the male who was going after his wife developed a weapon that could kill all Viperox in the entire universe, and only he knows how to crack it. And the deal was the US military would help the Viperox crack it if the Viperox changed the weapon to specifically kill the Russians because it was set during the Cold War. And I was just like, oh, for goodness.
Wow.
I remember they talked about the Cold War and like communism and stuff in the first like episode, and it got to I think 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are they doing here? And then the US channel just goes, they're gonna reprogram it to take out the Russians. And I literally, if I say what I said, I'd be swearing, but I literally went, oh, off. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. That's where that's going? Really? And so then obviously they end up, they fall out. Viprox are the big bads and the Roswell aliens are the good guys. The Doctor saves the day by saving the 2 aliens. There's more to it, but it really isn't important. They get this weapon and he basically retunes it. It wasn't obvious to begin with. He took the weapon that was supposed to kill them, plugged it into the TARDIS, and it made a noise that scared them all. I mean, it was literally like the Ninth Doctor with Rose. He sang a song and the Daleks ran away. He made a noise and the Viprox flew off. It didn't make much sense.
Arachnids in the UK.
Yeah, a bit of Stormzy. To trap those spiders.
I much prefer Stormzy than that noise, crikey.
But he explained apparently about 2 minutes later that he changed the weapon so it attacked their nervous system and said it wouldn't kill them. I don't know about you, but something that damages the nerve system. I mean, have you ever heard of nerve agents? They don't sound mildly uncomfortable. They sound quite lethal. So I don't know what's going on there.
Only some.
It's odd. So that was this big Deus Ex Machina, whatever it's called. It's not Deus Ex Machina, whatever it's called, that ended the whole thing. And then at the end, Cassie and Jimmy, the companions that have been around the whole time, just held hands. There wasn't a hint of a romance the whole way through. And at the end, he was like, you helped Cassie out. And he was like, okay, they hold hands. Roll credits. So that's Doctor Who Dreamland. If you're not on board, honestly, I don't know why. Why wouldn't you be? What a masterpiece. You know?
Yeah. So that was Dreamland, folks. Yeah. So I have my little notes here now that we've got the general plot out of the way. And you feel free to chime in on anything.
Go for it. I will.
My first note here is the pacing is wild.
It really is.
Because watching it, I didn't realize it was cut into 6 parts. Well, you told me. But I never realized, because my whole life I thought Dreamland was one thing. And then you're like, oh, it's actually 6 episodes. I was like, what? So, watching that, stuff just happens. Stuff just happens very fast. Very fast. The animation, I mean, it's 2009, whatever, I'll forgive it. But even for 2009, it's a little bit clunky. But I don't know what kind of budget they were working with at this point. So, I'll give them credit. They saw it all the way through. I mean, they hardly blink. But that's okay. That doesn't bother me.
Although the Viprox blinking was the same noise as the Celine blinking in Sarah Jane or Doctor Who. I'd like to point that out.
I saw that fun fact.
Yep.
But did you find that, or did you find that during the episode, or did you? I
just knew it hearing it because I'm just that much of a nerd. 17 DVDs, Crispy.
That's
17
unreal.
DVDs.
I was about to say that's a 17 DVDs moment right there, mate. I think here's something I think. I wrote this down. I think this episode would work very well in live action, but I don't think they fully utilize the animation style. Have a story completely set in space. Have a story completely set in a huge alien world where the animation style, you can kind of get away with liberties because we're not grounded on Earth. This entire thing takes place in the desert and underground, and in a diner. I was like, come on. Anyway, but in saying that, I love the subject matter of the episode. I think Area 51's story for Doctor Who is brilliant, is great.
Yeah. Roswell's such it's aliens. It's such a good concept to run with Doctor Who.
It's really, really cool. But I don't know. I think they kind of dropped the ball on this story. My favorite line of this was when they were talking about something about the Reds referring to the Russians, and David Tennant's like, oh, do you mean Manchester United or something like that?
That caught me off guard. He was like, oh, the Russians, Cold War. I was yes. The Manchester United are the enemies. Thank you very much, David Tennant. That's the most football thing I will ever say in my life. The offside rule. The offside rule is
sports. Football. Did you see that ludicrous display last night? Have you seen the IT crowd where they say, "Oh no, you haven't. You don't like Richard Ayoade. Never mind."
I'm not the biggest fan.
Anyway,
of him.
there's a segment in there where they have a go-to conversation for when they talk about sports and they have no idea, and they just say, "Oh, did you see that ludicrous display last night?" Anyway.
Oh, I haven't. I've seen the clip of them in the stadium where he's like, "Oh look, the ball's been passed to another person. Oh look, now the ball's over there. What is the point?" I've seen that clip. I'm like, very true. Very, very true.
It's so true. Did you notice the Weeping Angel music in this episode? Did you notice that
Yes.
soundtrack? It was weird. It was off-putting.
When they're in the vents. That
Yeah,
was one
yeah,
thing
in
I
the
was going to pick
vents.
up on. Yeah, this was like the Murray Gold suite. It was like Doctor Who at the proms, the episode.
They had everything.
There was
Literally.
so many different bits of music, and that was great.
Yeah. It was a best of, but I'm assuming that's because they didn't score the episode. They're just like, all right, let's get the MP3s from Murray, and
Yeah.
we'll just make it work.
Genuinely,
Yeah,
you might
so-
as well when you've got that much of a repertoire from Murray Gold. You may as well make it work like that because
No,
it was
literally.
just. It's perfectly valid. It works. It works better than it probably should, but that's just the magic of Murray Gold. You know, that's the magic of Murray Gold.
Absolutely. And my last little note here was that I liked that the aliens were working with the military. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, something's happening here, but then I don't know if it really pays off. But I like that. So there were some aspects to it that I was like, oh, this is cool, but none of it really stuck the landing for me.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it's the biggest example of really good ideas but very poor execution. Like that's the thing. When I was going
agree.
through it, I was thinking because especially in the first episode, it's 12 minutes, but the amount of times they change scenes and they're running and they're stopping and they're running and they're stopping, it's so like rushed through. The pacing is like it's so breakneck that you no longer have a neck. Like it's ridiculous. But like if you'd actually taken the time to go through it bit by bit, actually pad it out, there could be a really, really, really good episode there. I genuinely believe that. I think the pacing really let it down. And also, fun
there's
fact,
a good story in there.
You mentioned the general, sorry. I mean, you literally told me this, but the US General, Colonel Stark, is played by Stuart Milligan, who was Nixon in Day of the Moon.
Yeah. I recognized the voice throughout the entire thing, and I was like, who is it?
Speaking of, actually, I don't know whether I ever pointed this out to you, but Doctor Who nerdy fact, have you ever seen Wonder Woman 1984?
Of course I have.
President of the United States is played by him as well.
You're joking.
I noticed it immediately. I was like, that's the guy who played Nixon in I'm gonna double check this to make sure I'm right. But I remember seeing him in the White House, and I was like,
no way.
Hang on a minute.
Maybe I
President
recognize
Nixon.
that too. Is that from when was that? When did that film come out? 2020.
2020. Yeah, there you go. Wonder Woman 1984. He was the president of the United States. Bingo.
Wow. Talk about getting typecast, mate.
I know. Yeah, typecast as the US president.
It's not a bad gig.
Can we also point out the names of the aliens were just unnecessarily complicated?
Oh, I didn't understand what they were saying. I had to turn subtitles on because they were. What? How can you pronounce them? Have you got them there?
There was not a subtitle button on the BBC version with those episodes, so I had to just wing it. But according to IMDb, the male one, the husband is Rivesh Mantalax, and the wife is Saruba Velak.
Oh, come on.
So, I mean,
come on, give me 2 syllables, Phil Ford. Give me 2 syllables.
you need to make it sound like they're alien. I get it, but like not so much that you're gonna like bite your tongue trying to pronounce it. Rivesh Mantala, no, stop. Also, what was the deal with the weird suit dudes? What was the deal with the what were they called? The Alliance agents, the robots that were trying to go for the weapon?
I thought we were gonna have a really cool Men in Black story. I don't know what they were. I didn't know what they were.
He tried to explain it. They were like robots that try and stop like alien invasions happening and stuff or something like that. But I couldn't tell. He was talking about the Alliance, and I couldn't tell if he was talking about a space alliance or an Earth alliance because it felt like at 2 different points there was dialogue that suggested either one. Like the writing around them was a bit shoddy. I couldn't really tell where they were going with it.
I mean, the story would have worked without them. I think there's a whole
Yes.
story to be told with them. But I think they were like, oh, this Earth is too primitive to discover aliens, and like we're going to take care of that.
We're clearly too primitive to understand their purpose.
Yeah. Well, honestly, we're way too primitive, bro. So I thought that was a really cool plot. I was keen to see where that went, but it didn't really go anywhere. They got shot by arrows, and I was like, oh, okay, here's Jimmy's dad. Hello.
He made the point of, oh, you shot them in the processor. You know how to kill these things. And then he literally came back later and went, oh, you swap a few wires around and then the robots are always fixed. I was like, you just said they shut it down with the processor. How are they now? But that was literally like 2 minutes before that. We're going to bomb the Russians. So by that point, I'd forgotten about that. I was like, oh. I literally had to pause the episode and burst out laughing. I was like, "Is that really? We're really doing that?" It's like, oh.
Yeah.
There was some real like Red Scare stuff in there. Like there was one point that like when they generalized the Doctor on the roof, which actually that was a little good stint of animation when he like burst through the door and ran out. Because there was a common pattern with the animation when they open doors where hand goes out and door swings open. And
no, but the door would go and then stop perfectly. It would go
yeah. There was no slamming or anything, but it didn't even let the hands
No.
touch the doors sometimes. Just
No.
I think they're all just Jedi. But
And-
there was a scene
and-
where the Doctor
and-
was on the roof.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
on.
I was just going to say the amount of times David Tennant was like, "Hello, I'm the Doctor."
Yes,
was
yes.
Always
Just
had his
arm out.
hand out for a handshake.
Like an
Hello.
Auton. I thought those Men in Black were going to be Autons when he got his hand out like
did
that. I was like, is it going
I.
to pop out? But no, it was a laser gun. But there's a scene on the roof where the Doctor like bursts through a door. He's on the edge of a roof and the Colonel has a gun aimed at him and he literally goes, you sound like you're a Red and the only way to deal with a commie is a bullet. And I was like, oh, really?
No.
Red Scare. That's subtlety. That's the same kind of like subtlety that everyone complains about Jodie's era lacking. It's
I
like-
was
like,
about
oh.
to say.
I was like, I can't wait for anyone who hates Jodie's era to go, oh, political. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't mind it because it felt very timely. Like of the time, it was just the way he said, "We're gonna use the bomb and drop it on Russia." Just like,
yeah.
how do you even do that though? Like, 'cause the weapon is designed to kill all of a certain species.
Yeah, it would backfire.
All of a certain species that were born within a certain land border. Are you really telling me the weapon's going to account for borders? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would do that. Troy, I've got something to admit.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I may have fallen asleep a little bit during it. I woke myself up and rewound, but I was like, oh, this is not good. I'm reviewing this in an hour.
Wait, what time was it for you? It was like, what, 6 o'clock?
Yeah, it wasn't late, mate. It wasn't late. Mate, the episode was like melatonin. It just put me to sleep. It just put me to sleep.
Oh, my goodness. That's something. Oh, that was, Doctor Who Dreamland is one of the episodes of all time.
It really is one of the episodes
Everyone's
of all time,
complaining
isn't
about
it?
Morbius being a bad film. I'm sorry, Morbius is like 5 times better than Doctor Who Dreamland.
Oh, I think we can all agree on that, mate.
I would
think
much
we can
rather
all
watch
agree on
Matt
that.
Smith dancing for 90 minutes topless, don't take that the wrong way, than watch Dreamland, you know?
I agree.
I'd much rather.
I agree.
I'd much rather. Which, speaking of...
And that's the takeaway.
That is the takeaway. Have you heard about Game of Thrones fans complaining that Matt Smith apparently looks ugly in Game of Thrones? It's like a big thing saying that he's not very good looking.
What?
Apparently there's people have been tweeting that, and like the Doctor Who fans have been going, oi, leave him alone, which I agree. He's not a bad looking dude. I don't get the...
He's an absolute looker. I mean, I'm sure. Is he like intimidating in Game of Thrones? Is he a bad guy?
There's
Or
one
is
moment...
he supposed to be?
He's definitely putting across like a really intimidating energy at the minute, and I'm excited to see where he goes with that.
Yeah, cool.
But there's one moment I really love that caught me off guard, and I can't use the word even in a swearing podcast because it's a very, very bad one. It begins with C, and Game of Thrones really likes to use it, so you probably know. But like having a discussion
wow.
about one of the characters, and they're like, this man's a really good man, and then he's like, I see him for what he really is, and the guy goes, what, really? And Matt Smith just interrupts him and goes, and then he says it with this force, and I'm like, all right, Matt, someone's grown up since Doctor Who, good grief. I was like,
Matthew, fish fingers and
Matthew
custard.
Smith. How old is he now? He's like 39, I think, or is he?
Is he nearing 40?
39, yeah, he's 39. He turns 40 in October.
No way. Gosh, he's a good-looking lad.
He's a good
My
looking
goodness.
lad. Yeah, don't be saying that he's ugly. He is not ugly.
He's not ugly.
He's not ugly. He's not ugly buggly. He's not ugly.
Ugly buggly.
Ugly buggly. I like how we've already run out of things to say about Dreamland, so we're just talking
I was
about
about
Matt
to say,
Smith now.
I don't have anything
By
else
my
to say about
calculations, we have about
Dreamland.
15 minutes left of the episode, and we have nothing left to say about it because it's just very...
Oh,
Yeah.
I have something. I got
What
something.
have you got? We have got fan responses, though, so we're going to get to that in a minute. So what is your thing?
Yeah. I looked up just some fun things. And they're like production errors, whatever. But apparently when they released the title, they released the title early, which is nice because that's something they should do with Doctor Who Centenary Special. Anyway, so when they released the title, the fan community theorized that since it was an audio, it was an animation, that they were going to have David Tennant in a dreamlike-esque state, hence Dreamland, where he interacts with previous Doctors, and they would do it through voice cast and voice impersonations and stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. But then
That's
everyone was
overhyping.
and then, well, I mean, that's what the Doctor Who community does. But then, of course, we had a story about little aliens in Area 51. So
It's like when everyone was saying, oh, Tom Cruise is going to be Iron Man in Doctor Strange 2 and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's going to come back. It's like, set expectations, okay?
Settle down.
Set expectations, please.
Do you really think John Krasinski is going to be like Mr. Fantastic? Settle down. Come on.
Well, I mean...
What? Oh, did that... Oh, my bad.
They did that. They did that. And everyone did the Leonardo pointing meme, and it was great. He might not be Mr. Fantastic. He might not be John Krasinski anymore. He might not be Mr. Fantastic anymore, to be fair. It might just have been for that cameo.
I think it was just to please the fans.
Because like they could write it off like with Spider-Man with different actors, so you don't know. Let's look at fan responses, shall we? This is ropes.
Yeah,
let's
hear from the people. Come on.
Okay, so we have 5 comments. Let's roll through. Let's go reverse order this time. So Arthur Buckley kicking off. Good setting, bad story. I was going to name drop another story like that, but I couldn't think of any. Maybe Shakespeare Code. That's fair. It's fair. In the Forest of Night. I mean, that's good setting. The story's not very good. Clara saying to the doctor, hey, you're an orphan. Why don't you just, don't bring any of these kids with you because they'll be orphans. Being an orphan is bad, she says to the doctor who is an orphan. I got that point from Nerd Cube's podcast because I heard that and I was like, that's a really good point. But also just the whole episode, the premise is just, it's very It's very
Yeah.
But anyway, so thank you, Arthur. The one-time lady, honestly, one of our favourite comments is just because of that gay panic picture of 13th Doctor. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh. Just watch the first episode, watching the rest tomorrow. It's a bit interesting, but overall it's not that bad. The characters are just classic Doctor Who characters, and it was released on my birthday. Oh, there you go. Well, happy birthday when Dreamland came out. Hope it was a great present for you. Notice that they haven't commented since, so either they forgot to, or they actually went, I can't be bothered. One or the other.
They're probably asleep. Mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Lewis Sutton Universe said, like I said before, it's not very good, though I think they should revisit the Roswell incident for Series 14. Or just any series, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Roswell would be a really good thing to...
It's a cool setting.
Yeah.
It's a cool setting.
Yeah. Bring it back. Felicia has said, I think the story was too rushed and very much like Bang Bang Bang. I hated the animation as the lips didn't sync to the voice and it was really unrealistic. I will admit I gave up on the end of episode 6. Well, I mean, you made it to the end, so that's something.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, you made it to the end.
The animation, the models themselves, David Tennant's model, I don't think looks horrific. I think Cassie's model looks worse. Cassie and Jimmy don't look good. The 10th Doctor's model is not great, but it's better. And Colonel Stark's also doesn't look too bad, but it's the movement. The movement's so rigid and just with doors and stuff like that. It's just, and also he holds the sonic screwdriver, sorry audio listeners, but he holds it always like this. He doesn't ever point it or anything like that. He has the screwdriver and he puts it against a thing and then the light turns on. It's very low budget animation, but that was obvious. They weren't really going to put tons of money into it. Is our last commenter on Spotify who said, I remember watching it as a kid folks. And really enjoying it. Area 51 is an exciting setting, and I thought the Viperox, I don't know how you remembered that, were good villains. Tied in well with Sarah Jane Adventures 2.
Yeah, well done.
I always wished it were live action. I was going to say this, the flying saucer that belongs to the aliens, is that the same flying saucer that's in... Is it the one, what's his name? The yellow alien in Sarah Jane Adventures 2, Yeah, the prisoner of the Jadoon. I can't remember his name.
The Jadoon
what's his name? Looking up now.
Yeah. It is. I read something like that. I don't think I've seen that episode of Sarah Jane, but I was like, oh, that's pretty cool if it ties in.
Androvax. So, Androvax ship, Doctor Who Dreamland. I'm going to look at this real quick, because I was going to say, I remember seeing there was some kind of connection there. Doesn't seem to mention it anywhere. I'm just going to have a quick look through. No, it doesn't seem to mention it. No, I can't seem to see anything really close that credits it. But yeah, it did look like the same spaceship. So if you've seen Sarah Jane Adventures and the ship that Androvax tries to steal is the same one from Dreamland. So
it says, Mr. Dread and the Alliance of Shades return to face Sarah Jane Smith in the Vault of Secrets?
Oh, yes, they do. Never mind. The Vault of Secrets. I never got that far in my rewatch. That's why I've forgotten. I need to finish my rewatch of Sarah Jane.
And it's written by Phil Ford, so that makes sense. Damn,
of course, same writer.
So this is connected. All right, I changed it. Not 3.5, 10 out of 10. It's connected.
Marvel fans when they don't like a Marvel film, but they still connect it. Oh my goodness,
it's connected. It's good though.
Main enemy is Androvax. Look at that. Wow.
That's pretty cool. The alien ship re-engineered by Androvax from the Dreamland archives in Prisoner of the Jadoon. Okay.
There you go. Intriguing. Very, very intriguing. So let's just check. Did we have any comments regarding Dreamland on the YouTube version? Let's just double
I
check.
don't think so. A lot of Series 3 thoughts.
No other comments regarding it. So, there you go. That is Doctor Who Dreamland. Would we recommend it? I mean, if you want to watch all of Doctor Who, then yeah, for completionist's sake.
You gotta.
Beyond that, no. There's good
Probably
elements to it, but it's not very well executed. It's definitely a skippable one. It's definitely. I mean, to most people, probably didn't even know about it. So there you go. You know, maybe we should have talked about the Infinite Quest instead, because I seem to remember that being a better animated episode of Doctor Who.
As did a lot of people during my research.
Yeah. So we'll look at that at some point soon as well. We'll look at the Infinite Quest.
Definitely. I've never seen it.
Can we watch that anywhere? Actually, that's a good point. Let me see if there's somewhere I can watch it. Otherwise, I have to buy a DVD. I can't afford DVDs.
Ugh, we can't afford anything.
There's clips on YouTube from BBC Studios, but I don't seem to see... Oh, here we go. BBC UK. Can we watch it? The programme is currently not available on BBC iPlayer. Would you look at that?
Thanks, BBC.
It says last broadcast was in... No, there we go. Initially broadcast in 2007. The last ever broadcast was Saturday the 23rd of August 2014 on CBBC. It's not been shown since.
Wow.
13 episodes, approximately 3 minutes 30
What?
each, 45 minutes total. So it's like Dreamland again, but they broke it into minuscule episodes. Good grief.
I can imagine the pacing's going to be great.
Yeah, why so small though? That is wild. Anyway, so that's probably just a good point to stop, you know? Oh, I like how we've gone into the podcast document and you're writing down Infinite Quest for one of our future episodes. I love it. I love it.
I didn't know if you could see that.
Yeah, no, I still have the document open. I just looked at it before I went back to Discord. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this week's episode of Who's There, a Doctor Who podcast. So, not the most positive one, maybe, but, you know, it's nice to talk about something that maybe you guys haven't heard of before, and maybe never will again. Maybe you'll never bother watching it, and if you're going to rewatch it, maybe you'll go, do you know what? Maybe not now, you know? It might sadly be like the Saints Row release this week, because a lot of people are saying they're returning their pre-orders and they didn't really like it. I'm really rough to Saints Row.
Oh,
it's sad, man. I mean, I got given a review, Kate, but I wasn't like paid to like talk about it, because if I didn't like it, I would have said it. But like, I knew I was going to do an early access stream, and I told my like viewers I was going to, and then in my Discord, I saw everyone sharing their reviews that it was really bad, and I was like, oh no, I'm streaming this in a few hours. I'm really worried. And then I actually played it. It took like an hour to get going. The opening was a bit weak, but like actually getting into the game itself, I was like, This is fun. I don't see it's not as good as like some of the best ones. Have you ever played a Saints Row game?
I've never played a video game in my life.
You need to play Saints Row 3, honestly. Can your PC run games at all?
Yeah, it's a gaming PC. I'm just not a big gamer. I only got it because it can process videos.
So we're gonna I'll get you Saints Row, or you can get it if you can get it cheaper. One of us can, and we're gonna play it together. Like the third one. Probably,
You're on.
The third one, because that is.
You're on.
That is beautiful. So we'll do it, and that'll be fun. Maybe we could stream it.
Yeah,
I could stream it on Twitch or something.
Yeah,
and we
that
could
could
just
be
play
funny.
Saints Row together.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, sick. Sick.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitch then, everyone, for when that happens. Twitch.tv/RedArcherLive. Thanks very much. But there you go. So we're going to wrap up here. So, as always, how do we finish our episodes? Crispy, what are your closing comments?
My closing comments for today is that if something can be done in animation, it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be done in the first place.
That was so brutal.
You know,
oh wow!
I know it's pretty rough. I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sure Phil Ford's a nice guy. Probably put in so many hours for me just to roast him there. But you know, sometimes that goes wrong. But you know what doesn't go wrong? Live stream. So join us next week for our live Doctor Who hot takes. Pretty please. Thank you and all the best from Troy and I here at Who's There HQ. Love you.
Who's There HQ in 2 different locations. See you all Thursday, 1st of September at 12 p.m. BST, 9 p.m. AEST, and convert your time zones from there if you're anywhere else. So thank you all very much for listening and watching, and we'll see you all next week with episode 23, where we discuss your Doctor Who hot takes. And as always, to remind you with the live episodes, once we've live streamed it on YouTube, it will stay up unedited, unchanged, because that way you can see the live chat, and it'll go up on audio platforms the usual time on Saturday. So if you're listening, you'll hear it in a week's time. If you want to watch it on YouTube, Thursday, so it'll be 2 days earlier. So up to you. Or better yet, watch it on the YouTube and then listen to the audio version 2 days later. You know, give us even more. Brilliant. You know, watch time, retention, all that stuff. Do it. Thanks very much. So we'll see you all next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.
Allons-y, baby.
Allons-y.